What's up, everybody? This is Coach MJ, and welcome to our training broadcast for today. As you can see in the banner below, today we're going to be talking about, do you know enough to be a coach? How to dominate in the age of the expert. I heard that phrase, age of the expert, from another coach a while back, and I really loved how that sounded because that's truly the day and age that we live in. We live in a day and age where everybody can get an audience, everybody can build a following, everybody can use technology and the internet and social media and all these other avenues to create an ecosphere or a universe where they are the authority, they are the expert, right? It does not matter who you are or what you do, you are an expert in something. But I remember when I first wanted to become a coach, this was years ago. I had no idea how to do it, how to make money off of it, how to market myself. I didn't know any of those things back then. All I knew is that I wanted to be a coach because, for one thing, and this may be something you can relate to, a lot of people told me I would be good at coaching. I also knew that I wanted to do it because I always enjoyed training. I even had a job as a corporate trainer at one point. It was another time in my life when I thought I wanted to be a teacher of young people. And I dabbled in teaching a little bit. And I have always, I wanted to be an adjunct professor and all these things because teaching is one of my gifts. And so I knew that as a coach, I would be able to move people towards solutions they are experiencing. Sometimes people confuse coaching with counseling, with therapy, and with mentoring. Those are all related disciplines, but they are not all the same thing. Coaching does not have a backwards look. Coaching actually moves you forward towards the result that you want to get. Coaching does not focus on why you aren't getting the result, only to the extent that it can move you out of those behaviors, out of those thought patterns, and into more productive actions and thought patterns. But it doesn't get deep in the weeds like therapy does and like counseling does on why you're like this, what happened to you, and all that. And I knew with my way of thinking, with my way of approaching problems and things, that I would like the forward focused way that coaching handles problems. So that's my story, right? But I was not sure at first what type of coach I wanted to become, even though I definitely didn't know how to market myself, did not know how to price my products, did not know how to do anything. But the first decision was, what type of coach do I want to be, right? I knew that I was good at training people. I knew that I was good at helping people get a certain result, but I did not know years ago that it needed to focus. We're going to be talking about today. We're going to have 3 M's that are the difference between whether you know enough to be a coach and will be able to dominate in this age of the expert and not being able to do it. First of all, I will say that yes, you do know enough. Whatever you're an expert in, whatever you are passionate about, whatever thing that you know super well, that thing that you can talk about or do all day long and lose track of time and not worry about, am I getting paid to do this? You're not watching the clock. That's something that you're an expert in. Also, anything that you know that somebody else does not know, but they want to know, that makes you an expert in that space at that time. Whether or not you're an expert in other things, whether or not you need expert help in some things, that does not mean that you are not an expert. There is something right now that you can dominate in the marketplace with as a coach. And so we're going to talk about 3 M's that are all you need to know to be able to dominate in this age of the expert. And here's the thing. It always frustrates me a little bit when I hear people say they want to be a coach. This has happened to actually a couple of people I know personally quite recently. They decided they wanted to be a coach, and they decided that they needed to go to get a certification or go back to school and get a degree. And I was thinking, no, you don't need that. You don't need to go back to school. If you are already an expert in something, which everybody is an expert in something, You don't need to go back to school or get a certification to be a coach. Now, I know there's people out there that say, oh no, I think it's called the American Coaching Federation. There's all these things out there where they can certify you to be a coach. And what I'm telling you after years of experience actually being in this world is that you don't need that. And not only do you not need a certification as a coach, it can actually be a barrier. Certainly going to get the certification, if it takes a year, if it takes 6 months, however long it takes, that's that much longer that you are not going to be sharing your gifts with the world. That's that much longer that you are not going to be monetizing your gift because you are in the space trying to find out the right way to coach. Here's what's true. If you have the answer to a problem, you can coach somebody to get there, especially it doesn't have to be a problem that you've solved, that you learned about through your job. It may be something that you learned about through education, whatever that is. You don't need someone to certify you to be a coach. I've been doing it for years. Did not need the certification. I have found the resources I need to improve steadily upon what it is that I do and what it is that I want to learn, because I'm always learning and always improving. But you don't need a certification, and you definitely don't need to go. So I don't want you thinking that you've got to go back to school and do all this. And you also, I say this every time, not only do you not need a degree, not only do you not need to be certified, you also don't need to ever have owned a business before. So for all of my people out there like, MJ, yeah, coach, but I've never owned a business before. I've never built a following. My Instagram has 50 followers, and my Facebook, I just got people I know personally, and I don't have a following. That's okay. You don't need to have built a following to be an effective expert coach out here, right? So not only do you need to not have owned a business before, and not only do you not need to have built a following before, you don't even have to have ever coached anybody. And that's the part that's going to blow people's minds right there, is people think that in order to do a thing, I have to have already done a thing. Well, guess what? Before the first time you do something, you have never done it before, right? The first time you walked, you had never walked before. The first time you rode a bike, you had never ridden a bike before. The first time you went to school, for the first, in first grade or kindergarten, you had never been before. That did not mean you couldn't do it. Well, the same is true of any kind of skill. Just because you've never been a coach before does not mean that you can't be a coach now, or that you got to go back to school to learn how. And here's why. We're going to talk about 3 M's that you need to be a coach, to prove that you know enough to be effective and can dominate expert in your own little ecosphere, in your own little part of the world, where you have a following, you have an audience that is clamoring to get your perfect solution to their problem. And the first M is that you have to have a magic formula. So what do I mean by magic formula? You have to have a way that's unique to you for how you solve a real problem that people in the marketplace are experiencing. So what do I mean by unique? Does that mean that everything that you do to solve the problem has to be something nobody else has done? Well, no. In the Bible, it teaches that there's nothing new under the sun. And people say that all the time. There's nothing new out here in the sun. Everything that's been done has been done before. And that is 1000% true. It's not that you got to come up with a new way that other people don't do. As a matter of fact, your magic formula, your unique or your solution to your problem could be something that other people are already doing. Right? What makes it your magic formula, in addition to the fact that you are the one bringing the solution to the marketplace, it's that you are combining your approach to solving the problem in a unique set of ways. No 2 people do everything alike. No 2 people use the same wording to express a concept, to express something that they're trying to communicate. No 2 people do anything exactly alike. And your magic formula can be set up in a step-by-step, hand-holding, supportive approach so that the person can get the results that they want to get in a short amount of time. Your magic formula is whatever you know it's going to take to solve the problem. The thing is, everything that people care about out there in the marketplace, they look at from their point of view. What's in it for me? It always tickles me when I see advertisers putting stuff out on Facebook and everything is about them. They're talking about, oh, we've got all this extra surplus inventory we need to get rid of and you need to come buy it. Oh, we didn't get enough customers last month, so we're going out of business. Like, why would I as a customer give a crap about you going out of business or having too much inventory? My only thought is, what does this seller have that's going to solve a problem that I have? And when you are outlining your magic formula, when you're figuring out what's the problem that you can solve, you need to look at it from the customer's point of view, not from your point of view, because you want to be able to create wealth for yourself and build a legacy for your family and have the freedom to quit your job and the income to travel the world. That can't be what you lead with when you are talking to your potential customers. They don't give a crap about helping you build the life that you want to live. They are trying to solve the problem that they have so they can live the life. Their magic formula is going to give them the step-by-step to do that, right? A lot of times, coaches are out here literally being taught or being influenced by others that it doesn't matter if people get results, or it doesn't matter if anybody actually does what you tell them to do, as long as you can convince them to buy into what you're selling and get their money and hope for the best. And I disagree with that. I vehemently disagree with that. I'm committed to getting my customers their results, and you as a coach should be that way as well. And that is a part of your magic formula as well, is that the thing that you teach, the thing that you will coach people on is about getting them the result. So let's say, I'm going to use Vocal Coach as an example, because there's a vocal coach I watch on YouTube. He's extraordinary and I love the content he puts out. Let's say you are a vocal coach, or let's say you're not a vocal coach, you want to become a vocal coach, but you don't want to have to coach individuals one-on-one for $30 an hour, or $50 an hour, whatever vocal coaches get paid, because you want to create wealth and you know there's a way to do that. You need to figure out, what problems are my students having that are creating real issues for them out in their lives? Is it that they're not able to get enough gigs to keep food on the table? Is it that they're not going to be able to progress because they are having these hangups? They're having these issues. Now, I'm not a vocal professional, so I don't know how to say the right words in this example. But the point is, instead of just saying, I'm a vocal coach, come to me, no. And this is going to get into what our second M is, which is messaging. Your messaging has to be, when you're reaching out into the marketplace and trying to draw people into what you are offering and the problem that you're solving, your message has to be compelling. It has to capture their attention. It has to interrupt the patterns of what they are experiencing at the moment and get them to say, hey, wait a minute. They're talking about something of interest to me. Wait a minute. They know exactly, their messaging expresses exactly what I am experiencing right now, this major problem that I have. They must have the solution, because they're describing my problem in this commercial, in this ad, on this Facebook Live, on this Instagram post, on Clubhouse, wherever it is. They are expressing it in a way that I could not even put into words. They must have the solution. This is what the people who are seeing your messaging, that's the second M, are going to be experiencing. It's compelling. It lets them know, I know what your problem is, and I know exactly what you're experiencing every day. That's why you have to continually, as a dominating expert coach, stay in the mind of the people who are out there trying to get to the solution they're looking for. But in addition to having a message that grabs their attention, pulls them in and gets them engaged, you have to have a charged message. What do I mean by charged? It has to be emotion involved, right? People don't make logical decisions when it comes to doing things that are outside of their comfort zone, that are going to move them to another stage in life. Because even though they are experiencing a problem in their life, your ideal customers, it's still familiar to them to stay stuck where they are. It's easier, it's predictable, and it feels safe and secure, even though they will complain about the thing that they're experiencing, the thing that they don't have, the thing that they want that they aren't able to experience. They'll complain about it, but ultimately it's comfortable to stay there. Right? So your messaging has to be charged with emotion, because they're not going to, what logic says, why would I go through all this trouble to try to fix this? I'll just adjust my life to accommodate the problem and stay in it, right? That's why people stay in their jobs that they hate or that underpay them, that overwork them and underappreciate them for years. Maybe you're one of those people. It's because getting that check every 2 weeks is familiar, it's predictable. So even though you're underpaid and you're falling further and further into debt and further behind, and you're less and less fulfilled and you feel more and more dissatisfied with life, you stay there because it's familiar. Well, the same thing is true of your potential coaching customers out there. They're facing a big problem, but they are comfortable in it. Your messaging has to be charged with emotion so they can realize what they are really missing out on and how much it's really hurting them. Because a lot of times we can lie to ourselves and convince ourselves things are not that bad, even though we know they're that bad. It's crazy how we do that. We know it's bad, but then we say, oh, wait. You want me to change? You want me to level up? You want me to invest in myself? Oh, wait, it's not that bad. And so your messaging has to be charged and get underneath the nails, get underneath their skin, and really prick them to know they need to do something about their problem now. And then the third thing that your messaging needs to be is catalyzing. What does it mean to catalyze? That means to basically kickstart something into action. So it's not enough just to talk about their problem and get them drawn in and get them emotional. You have to give them a call to action and tell them what you want them to do to move forward as a coach, right? And you, as a coach, you want them to ultimately come, if they're fit to work with you to get their result, which is where the third M comes in. And it just stands for make it happen, right? Remember, I told you your coaching experience, your coaching programs, your coaching product, whatever you want to call it, should be geared towards getting results, not geared around just getting a bunch of people in your program, not geared around just getting people to start. You want them to finish and get the result that you told them they would get if they were coachable, if they were committed, if they did the things you told them to do, right? Because you can't guarantee somebody's success. And that's something you got to accept as a coach. Not everybody's going to get their result. You can't guarantee results. That is like malpractice to say, I guarantee you will do this. What I can guarantee only is that if you do the things I say, you're going to be on the fast track to getting the results you want. But I can't guarantee when that will happen or to what extent, because I can't control what my clients do and don't do. I don't know if they did the things I told them to do. So I can never guarantee results, but you have to give them everything under making it happen. You have to give them everything that they would need to get results, right? Because again, when you put together your magic formula, you stepped it out. You know exactly everything that they're going to need because you are, again, an expert in this particular area. So you have to be able to give your clients in whatever time frame that you guys have agreed upon everything that they will need to get results, and then leave it up to them whether they follow your instructions, show up 100%, do the work to get their result. Only the client can guarantee their result. But when it comes to making it happen, also, I don't believe in building a business that just becomes another job, right? Everything you do should be leveraged so that you can buy back more and more of your time, so that you can create more and more freedom, so that you can scale your income. You don't want to create a business and then it just turn out to be another job. So you work your business, because there are people out here, solopreneurs, who are stuck in that I don't need a team, I'm not going to scale, I'm going to stay right where I am kind of a mindset. And their businesses aren't really, to me, they are businesses, but they are businesses that are basically a job that you own, which a job that you own is worse than a job that you work for somebody else, because you're taking on all the risk, but you're not setting yourself up to scale. You're not setting yourself up to be leveraged. You're not setting yourself up to create freedom. I'm all about living a life of independence and complete and total freedom of my time, of my income, and of my ability to move about in the world. And when I work with my clients, that's the only thing we're focusing on. I'm not looking for people that are just dabbling, looking for a side gig. I'm just going to give it a shot, but I'm going to keep my day job. If you want to keep your day job, God bless you. But that's not my ministry. That's not what I'm on. I'm on getting people time and income freedom so they can leave their job and travel the world and do all the other things that you want to do. That's what I do. But in your coaching experience, you're going to be getting people whatever results that you are an expert in helping them to get. But whatever, again, like I go back to say, anything that you know a lot about and know how to get the answers to, you are an expert in. So yes, you definitely know enough to be a coach. You also need to have a leveraged model that frees you up more and more and more until your business can run without you. And that's why I love the coaching business model that I have. I can work it from anywhere in the world. That's why I travel so much. Literally, wherever my laptop can go, I'm still in business. I can put it down and I'm off the clock. I can even work it from my phone. I don't prefer to do that because the screen is small and mother's eyes are getting bad and sometimes you can't really move things around on the screen. But anywhere where I have a device and access to internet, I can continue to build my 6 and 7 figure coaching business. And you can do the same exact thing in what you are an expert in, but you have to be able to make it happen in a leveraged way, in a results driven way, and in a freedom focused way. You do not take it from me. You do not want to create a business that requires you to talk to people one-on-one every single day, because why? There are only so many hours in the day. And if you are doing the same thing over and over with multiple people, there's only so many hours in a day that you have that you can do that. So what does that do? That limits your income potential. It also completely ties up your time because now you're spending 8, 9, 10 hours a day doing the thing. A leveraged model that's focused on creating freedom for you lets you use one-to-many approaches in getting the results for your clients. So you're not doing the same thing over and over one-on-one. You're doing the same thing over and over one-on-many, which allows you to scale very quickly. And that's how you make it happen. The making it happen, that third M, is not just about getting results for your clients or helping them get their own results. It's also about getting your result, which is time and income freedom for yourself. If you're not looking for time or income freedom for yourself, then I have to ask you, why are you in business? And guess what? Time is not money. I say this on a lot of my broadcasts because it's true every day. Time is infinitely more valuable than money because you can always replace money. If you lose it, you can get it back. If you spend it, you can earn more. You can never get more time back. From the time you were born, God knows how much time you had here on this earth, and the time was being depleted second by second, minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year. You're running out of time. And so you want to create a business that gives you time freedom by first investing what it takes to learn all you can, build that business, create the income, and then buy back your time. What do I mean by buy back your time? For those of you who are working for somebody else, it's time to tell your boss goodbye. Time to give them the pink slip. Give them a slip that's the color of this banner down here in my shirt. Give them the pink slip. Quit your job. And then you will be free to move about in the world. And what does it take for you to quit your job? Not nearly as much as you will be able to create on the other side of it once you have your time back. Can you imagine, for those of you who work 40 or 50 hours a week, what you could do with that time if you did not fill it with, chores and errands, because you're already doing those things after work. But if you just had all of a sudden, like if you got fired or laid off, unfortunately, what would you do? What could you do with 40 or 50 hours suddenly in a week to build a legacy, build wealth, build your income? It doesn't have to take you that long to get out from under your boss, get out from under your employer, and create freedom for yourself, where then you can build wealth. It can take days, weeks, maybe a couple of few months. With the motto I teach, it does not take that long to get there, right? Because again, you're already an expert at something. I can help you to figure out what that is, how to package it in such a way that it solves a problem that your market is out here eager, even desperate to solve. Put your message in front of them, influence them to buy what they have already been looking for and been waiting to buy, and then make it happen and get the results. So if you see this banner beside me, we have an upcoming Build Wealth While You Travel Challenge coming up starting September the 27th. It's a 5-day challenge. Go to buildwealthwhileyoutravel.com right now and get registered for this challenge. It's going to be 5 epic days, not full days. We'll be together an hour or two each day, but 5 epic days of learning everything that I can teach you about how to start from ground zero, from square one, and build a coaching business that frees you to travel. Why do I talk about travel so much? Because that's one of my favorite hobbies. I go on a trip or two every month. That's because that's what I want to do. But even if you don't want to go on a trip or two every month, and it's probably because you don't have the time, you don't have PTO, and you don't have the money to do it. If you had the freedom to do it, you probably would do it. Even if you don't, there's all these other dreams that you have that you want to come to bring to fruition. A better home, ability to take care of your parents, private school for your kids, college funds for the kids, driving a vehicle that doesn't break down every other month. Whatever those dreams are, paying off all your debt and living a lifestyle of freedom and being stress-free. If that's what you want, right over to buildwealthwhileyoutravel.com and sign up for the challenge now. We only have 213 seats available, and they're going to go fast. So get over there. Ma'am, you might not have even been thinking about being a coach because you probably thought, I got to go back to school, get a certification. They're not going to listen to me. I don't have a following. But guess what? I just let you know during this broadcast, you don't need none of that. All you need is a dream to be free, and we'll do the rest. Because I guarantee no matter what it is, even if you don't know what you're an expert in, even if you don't know and think you know enough to be a coach, you can. And I know how to draw it out of you, what your expertise is and who needs your expertise out there right now, no matter what. If God put it in your heart to solve that problem, you know, that problem that always makes you mad whenever you hear people struggling. You're like, daggone it, that drives me crazy. I wish they knew, blip, 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 blip. He put it in your heart to feel that way, then that means that there is a need for it out there, and he's already given you what you need to solve that problem in the marketplace. So you are an expert. You do know enough to be a coach. You can dominate in this age of the expert, but you need to know the step-by-steps to get going. My magic formula is the Build Wealth While You Travel Challenge. It starts September 27th. Head on over right now to buildwealthwhileyoutravel.com. Let me give you a pro tip. Go VIP. Don't shortchange yourself. Although even my basic economy seats are going to get everything that they need, the VIP folk is going to be on another level. And I don't want you to miss out on this challenge. So head over there now. Get your ticket today. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. And we will see you on the 27th when we start working on leveling up your life by creating this brand new epic coaching business that's going to create time and income freedom for you so that you can travel the world with me or do all the other things that you want to do with your life. It's been my pleasure sharing with you today. I hope to see you during my next broadcast. Again, if you are a Black professional female, head over there to the buildwealthwhileyoutravel.com. Build Wealth While You Travel Challenge starts September 27th. So you only have a few days to get in. Go ahead and get your ticket, and we'll see you soon. I will also see you on our next training broadcast. I will be back tomorrow. Until then, take care and be safe. Talk to you soon.